You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump's phone call could cost FIFA boss his head, based on an article by The Conversation. FIFA neutrality is a scam with a press office. Donald Trump phoned Gianni Infantino after a US player's red card, and FIFA promptly reversed the ban. That is the surface event. The real story is more serious. A supposedly independent sporting body bent toward presidential power, then pretended that bending was routine procedure. The article's frame is right to treat the call as a scandal, but the deeper scandal is the system that made the call matter. Power, not procedure. The central question is not whether Trump was rude enough to make a call. It is why a football disciplinary decision could be altered in a political atmosphere where the FIFA president already had a warm relationship with him. FIFA officials hide behind independence and the disciplinary code, but that language is doing cleanup work after the fact. When the institution's leader is publicly trading favors with presidents and strawmen, process becomes theater. Infantino is not a neutral referee caught in a difficult moment. He is the political actor with the authority to shape the environment, signal loyalty, and decide which pressure counts as legitimate. If a phone call changes the outcome, then the phone call is not the corruption. The architecture that makes the call effective is. Trump did not invent this system. Trump's intervention is brazen, but it only works because FIFA has already normalized power being routed through personal access. Infantino awarded Trump a FIFA Peace Prize. Trump praised Infantino like a patron praising a useful subordinate. That is not an accidental friendship, it is an exchange of mutual insulation. The same pattern runs through the article's examples: silence on US travel bans, accommodation of Iranian players under American restrictions, deference to Russia, indulgence toward Qatar, and the Saudi World Cup bid. In each case, FIFA presents itself as above politics while acting as a broker for states with money, coercive power, or geopolitical leverage. Neutrality is the mask. Patronage is the job. The misdirection is the point. The article correctly notes that much of the public debate centers on Trump. That focus is useful to a point, but it can also become a dodge. Trump is loud. Infantino is structural. Trump calls. Infantino decides what the organization will tolerate. FIFA then says the committee acted independently, as if independence were proven by repeating the word. That is how institutions launder their own complicity. They shift attention toward the most visible bully and away from the official who built the channel for bullying to work. A president leaning on a federation is a story. A federation that treats such pressure as manageable is the institution failing on purpose. Reform was the cover story. Infantino's rise is especially revealing because he was sold as the antidote to corruption. The article makes clear what followed: reform talk, then consolidation. Ethics processes were dismantled, officials were fired, transparency shrank, and authority became more personal. That is the standard anti-corruption trick in elite institutions: expose rot, then use the exposure to centralize power in the hands of someone who promises cleanliness while demanding less scrutiny. Even the old FIFA scandal matters here. The 2015 prosecutions did not produce a clean federation. They produced a more disciplined one, better able to present itself as reformed while keeping power concentrated. The language changed. The hierarchy did not. Money, borders, and submission. FIFA politics are inseparable from its financing. The article points to US television money and Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds, and that is the real governing coalition. A body that depends on cash from powerful states will not reliably confront those states. It will negotiate with them, flatter them, and adjust its principles until the money keeps flowing. That is why travel bans, labor abuses, war, and human rights all become complexities instead of disqualifying facts. The institution does not misread power, it serves it. And when it rewards regimes with hosting rights or silence, it tells every weaker actor that participation requires obedience. OIL lesson. This story is not about one red card. It is about how authoritarian habits move through ostensibly civilian institutions: personal loyalty, opaque procedure, selective enforcement, and public denial. FIFA is not failing to be political. It is being political in the oldest possible way, by concentrating authority and distributing favors while pretending the rules are elsewhere. That is the broader pattern. When institutions become too dependent on money, too attached to strawmen, and too insulated from accountability, they stop defending their own legitimacy and start renting it out. FIFA is not a neutral organizer of sport. It is a case study in how power captures the referee and then asks everyone to applaud the whistle. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Ross Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Ryan. Thanks for listening.